Hi friends, welcome to my channel. And today I would like to take this topic of novels. I used to be, since I'm a bookworm, I was a bookworm. I used to read a lot of these books, novels, fiction when I was growing up. I used to read non-fiction also, but I clearly remember in my early days, I was hooked on to Sidney Sheldon and Jackie Collins and Jacqueline Susan, all these kind of novels, American authors. And I was so fascinated with that kind of life which these females used to have, the female characters. And Sidney Sheldon always had these very strong female characters, liberated, but they're always abused, traumatized, they're always in emotional turmoil. Uh, they have such bad childhoods, abusive childhoods, and they have big dreams, or they come from poor backgrounds and they make it big in the um, uh, they are like these hustlers. I used to really wonder in my head that is it even physically and mentally possible for a woman to go through all this and be stable in the head, because then they would find the true love of their lives. They would generally have a abortion or a miscarriage in their lives most of the times, or they would have some wimpy husband and then they would dump him and then they would marry somebody rich and famous. They would be with the movers and shakers. I remember reading Mills and Moon, maybe one or two novels, and I felt very bored. Though it was exciting in few pages. I won't lie, but it was always that the man is such a brute and then he has to conquer the female, and the female is all this tough kind of a female, whatever. And I remember in school we had this Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Sorry if I'm saying the wrong word, wrong names. It wasn't Charlotte, Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre. These English characters who are poor, but then they get some sort of a legacy, and then they are rich. And when they are poor, they are abused by their relatives. They generally orphan girls or orphan boys. Sometimes I really wonder, like they have to show this character so messed up in their heads to be strong. If any of my viewers can give me feedback on how these novels are written and how these female characters are portrayed in that. 50 Shades of Grey. ये भी कोई novel है. In the late 90s and the early 2000s, there used to be this influx of rom-com kind of novels, like Bridget Jones Diaries and the Diaries, Confessions of a Shopaholic, all these cute, halka fulka kind of novels where women are so fluffy in their head, silly, foolish, flightly, whimsical, capricious. I don't know, I don't know. All this is when I'm looking back, I just think how it is. What kind of a impact it is having on the mind when you're when impressionable mind, when you're reading in your teenage years or the very early 20s, finding love in all wrong places, just traveling or just happening. People are passionately in love with it, seconds love at first sight. What a concept it is. These novels are feeding us this love at first sight. Like literally, like even if you are married or whatever, then you find your ex-lover coming back in your life. And then you think there are sparks and chemistries, and then you go back to your lover. Something like that. Anyway, I need feedback on this. How is the novels literally creating an impact? Jane Eyre. I found her very nasty, honestly speaking. Difficult, nasty, bitchy. That's what I found her. Huh? I don't know how do y'all find her? Okay. I'll just wind up right now.